Do 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 do. Okay. I think we're set. Let me check some settings. Do 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 do. Settings seem fine. Okay, love that. Alright, so today I'm gonna listen to some D&D podcast type situations and make some item cards. And if anyone is around and wants to chat or hang, that's chill. If not, I'm just gonna be tip-tapping away. Don't worry about it. This is my spreadsheet. Love me a good spreadsheet. It's just started. Also, still kind of just working out some kinks. I did technically record me doing the first few things on here, like the bag of beans. Ugh, I want to bring this to a game so bad. Because there's so many options for what could happen. And I also just think it'd be really funny to like have them create this giant beanstalk and be like, oh no, there's gonna be so much gold, we're gonna be so rich, I think it's gonna be great. And then just have it be a great view. Just be like, wow, this is the best view you've ever seen in your whole life. It will haunt you. I think that would be really fun. I think they'd hate it. But I think it would be really entertaining for me as the DM. But you already knew that I'm a DM, because who else would be trying to make bloody magic item cards for their players? Anyway, so I'm just going through the DMG. I am doing it in that alphabetical order sitch near the back. Or I guess maybe like midway, really. Chapter 7, Treasure. And I'm just filling out some infos. It occurs to me that with the color coding, that maybe the item type isn't really necessary, but also, I don't know, maybe the colors won't show up very well, or maybe I'll accidentally print them in black and white and I'm not going to reprint them because save the trees, you know, so yeah. I'll also figure out values later. So, I mean, there are some pretty good like online lists of how much stuff costs, and Xanathars or something might have some info as well. I think there's like calculations you can do as well, but sometimes it's just what you feel in your heart, and that's okay. But the Bag of Devouring, which is a great prank bag, does not require attunement, because that would not make a ton of sense. I do apologize if my typing and typos are not up to par. My computer chair is broken and I haven't tried to fix it yet. But it's one of the like pumpy air ones, right? So you can like adjust the height. Except I can't adjust the height. All I can do is sink to the bottom and live in hell. So there's that, but it means that my writing posture, whatever it is pretty crap. What else? For those of you who may be interested, because I do a lot of Wordle stuff, been having some technical issues. I've been trying to upload things through the software I use, but it's not working. And it doesn't seem to matter what time of day I try to do it. I thought it might be an API like quota is reached situation, because sometimes I would do it after work. But even when I do it like first thing in the morning, it still doesn't work. So I'm trying to figure out what's up with that. So I have lots of content. Like, I haven't really missed any days or anything. But I don't know how to get it to you yet. This is live streaming, so it's different from the recording software. Okay, this is just OBS and stuff, right? But we'll see. We'll see. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get it back here. Jeez. Okay, focus. Focused on typing. The extra-dimensional creature attached to the bag can sense whatever is placed inside the bag. Animal or vegetable matter placed wholly in the bag is devoured and lost forever. Whoops. When part of a living creature is placed in the bag, as happens when someone reaches inside it, there is a 50% chance that the creature is pulled inside the bag. Ooh, sounds rough. Creature inside the bag can use its action to try to escape with a successful DC 15 strength check. See, this is something I've always, like, wondered about, I guess, the official D&D compendium of, like, rulebooks and shit. Because DC 15 strength check, that's like 20 characters. Why is it not just DC 15 STR CHK or something? Like, why am I writing out strength every time? Why? And also, saving throws. They come up a lot. There are a lot of spell stuff, right? A lot of roguish stuff happens with... Well, rogues do a lot with dexterity saving throws, right? But why am I writing saving throw out every time? Why am I not just going capital ST and assume... Or, you know, write a legend or something? So we're all on the same page about it. Because it's just... I feel like we're wasting a lot of time and space. And money. Okay. Rant somewhat over. Another creature can use its action to reach into the bag to pull a creature out. Oop. Doing so with a successful DC 20 strength check. Okay. Provided it isn't pulled inside the bag first. That seems like a pretty important caveat. Oh, but could you be inside and just yeet another creature out? That'd be so funny. I'd be into that. Any creature that starts its turn inside the bag is devoured, its body destroyed. That's real rough. Maybe that's too rude to give to an adventuring party of my friends. Maybe they won't see the joy in it. Inanimate objects can be stored in the bag, which can hold a cubic foot of such material. However, once each day, the bag swallows any objects inside it and spits them out into another plane of existence. That's so chaotic. Oh. The DM determines the time and plane. Because that's my job. Okay. If the bag is pierced or torn, it is destroyed. Okay, straightforward. And anything contained within it is transported to a random location on the astral plane. See, but this is just, it's so fun. Because you know that every adventuring group is looking for the magical haversack or the bag of holding so that they can store all their stuff in it so that they can just loot with abandon. But oh, man. Throwing them a bag of devouring instead? That would be so fun. Of course, if one of them died, though, because of it, I would feel bad about it. But, you know, if they're going to be dumb about it... Oh, such a hard decision. Okay. There. Bag of devouring card. Barring edits and filling in things or choosing to get rid of things. I did scope out a lot of magic item cards that people have made, and some of them involved trying to edit PowerPoint slides because they had designed them on a PowerPoint slide. And I love myself a little bit more than doing that to myself. I also, as I said, love myself a good spreadsheet. Love spreadsheets. So useful. Relational databases. Also, hella useful. Less common, but really fun. If you happen to get into them, because you have a lot of data that you want to organize and play around with, highly recommend. That's not what everyone wants to do, but whatever. Okay, why? I guess, do I want them center aligned? Maybe I do. Yeah, okay, let's keep it. We'll see how I feel after a few more. And of course, after the bag of devouring comes Le Classique, the bag of holding. Mwah. Delightful. Uncommon. Wondrous item. Does not require attunement. I have School of Magic in here mostly for things that I might try to create, so that it's a piece of information that I can give to players who try to do an Arcana check and they don't do well enough to actually figure out what it is, but they can see the School of Magic. And also, I think Detect Magic will tell you the School of Magic that it's from, and that's great for spells where it's very explicit what School of Magic it's from. But for items, hard, difficult, not a big fan. So I figured if I wrote it into my template, it might encourage me to think about that and justify myself, but I don't want to justify myself. I mean, I do, because that's fair, and it's nice to explain yourself, and more explanation means more understanding, blah blah blah, but it's also that fine line of I'm the DM, I do what I want, which is not really what you do, because you're not out to, well, I'm not out to get the players. Some DMs might be out to get the players, right? But it's my job to craft an experience and to give people the opportunity with their characters to take charge of their own lives if that's something they want to do, and give them the opportunity to shine and be badasses or heroic, or to be really evil if you're doing a dark campaign. There are many options here, but the whole point is that everyone has fun. And so as a DM, if I'm doing a full homebrew situation, then I have created the world, which is a lot. It's a lot of work. I don't recommend you start with that. I started with that. It was a lot. And I started off not really knowing how to prepare. Like, I didn't try running a pre-written adventure or, like, an official D&D adventure or, like, any of the number of D&D adventures that you can get from... Oh, no, what's it called? You know what I'm talking about, though. You know the place, right? It's available there. And, like, on Patreon, there's various people giving adventures away and also writing adventures for, like, subscriber, patrons, whatever. I didn't do any of that, though. I was like, no, you know what? We're going to go 100% from the get-go. We're going to look up the rules online and we're just going to make up a world. It'll be fine. It was fine, but it was a lot of work, is what I'm saying. I highly recommend learning how to, like, write and prepare for, like, a 3-hour adventure. And then I think part of it also was, you know how, and I know this now that I'm, like, more experienced, but there are the different adventures where, like, you're pretty clearly following a storyline. Like, there are pretty obvious story beats that you can walk towards and head towards. And I think as a player, I kind of like more of the, like, sandbox approach, where, like, your DM kind of dangles a few different threads in front of you, and it's like, what do you want to do? Like, where do you want to go? Like, plot X is happening, like, up here in the north. Plot C is happening over on the coast, right? You could go the next town over and tackle plots F and get started on plot K. Like, I like that kind of thing, where I can kind of, like, choose my own adventure a little more authentically than, like, the more storylined one. But having said that, the more storylined one is way easier to prepare, right? Because you have a pretty good idea of where your people are going to be heading, and so you can prepare just that place. With Sandbox, you're dangling all these carrots. Well, all those carrots better have been planted 3 months ago, and you better be able to pull something up with substance, because if they pick the one that you dangled and you didn't actually prepare, you're going to be so upset with yourself. At least I have been really upset with myself when that's happened. I've had to make a lot of stuff up, which means I've had to take more notes for continuity and to, like, finish fleshing out the city that they've gone to and what exactly the plot they're trying to, like, delve into is. Yeah. All of that to say... Where was I? Right. I am making an item card for the bag of holding. So good. Love it. And I am talking to myself in the void of the internet. I feel like I should be reading out these descriptions so that people who maybe can't read or can't visually process information can hear what is happening as well. I wonder if people have done that, right? There's got to be, like, audio files of this stuff so that the game is more accessible. Right? Right? Oh man, okay. Bag of holding. Uncommon wondrous item. No attunement necessary. I've only written one sentence of the actual description. This bag has an interior space considerably larger than its outside dimensions, roughly 2 feet in diameter at the mouth and 4 feet deep. It's basically like having a person on your back, hey? 4 feet deep? Like, that's bigger than some of the races in D&D. If your halfling friend is 3'2", like, don't put them in the bag, but you could put them in the bag, you know? Don't do it, though. Don't do it. Okay. I'm glad we've established that. The bag can hold up to 500 pounds. Just say most halflings at 3'2" aren't more than 500 pounds. Not exceeding a volume of 64 cubic feet. The bag weighs 15 pounds, regardless of its contents. Which is, I know it's magical, but that's still pretty, like, amazing. Right? You can carry 500 pounds of stuff and it only feels like 15 pounds. 15 pounds is nothing. Especially in a backpack. Like, if you don't have back problems or, like, leg problems or, I guess, like, tailbone problems, like, if you're pretty able-bodied and good to go, 15 pounds on your back all day? Nothing. So worth it. Retrieving an item from the bag requires an action. Which is, of course, if you try to do it in battle, you can't just, like... You probably have so much stuff in there that the idea that you can just reach in and be like, ah, yes, here is the one thing out of the 5,000 things I have in here that I meant to find within 6 seconds. Like, maybe on, like, the wildest of occasions, but also extremely unlikely, especially if the thing you're looking for is really small. Like, if you decided to put a pearl of power in there for some unknown reason, good luck finding that again without, like, totally upheaving the bag. But I digress. If the bag is overloaded, pierced, or torn, it ruptures and is... Well, that's not how you spell ruptures. And is destroyed. And its contents are scattered in the... Wait for it as I turn the page. Ooh, in the astral plane. We are now on page 154 of the DMG, if you're so inclined. If the bag is turned inside out, its contents spill forth unharmed, but the bag must be put right before it can be used again. Breathing creatures inside the bag can survive up to a number of minutes equal to 10 divided by the number of creatures with a minimum of 1 minute. After which time they begin to suffocate. And it is this point here, which is why I said don't put your halfling friend in the bag. I mean, if they want to, like, test it out, I mean, I guess, like, as long as you let them out before a minute passes, really, because you don't want to take too many chances with suffocation. But, you know, just seems like you're getting a little too close to danger for not a lot of reward, right? The risk-benefit ratio seems off. Placing a bag of holding inside an extra-dimensional space created by, oh, no, not that one. That one. Hayward's handy haversack, portable hole, or similar item instantly destroys both items and opens a gate to the astral plane. The gate originates where the one item was placed inside the other. Any creature within 10 feet of the gate is sucked through it to a random location on the astral plane. The gate then closes. The gate is one way only and can't be reopened. So, here's the thing. I've always well, always as if, since I've learned that these objects exist in this game called D&D, I've always been curious about forging an adventure where they need to get to the astral plane before any of them can actually use plane shift or something, before they know, like, an NPC who can do it for them, or, like, they could never afford to have an NPC do it for them, right? Because, like, this is some big stuff, right? But conveniently having a couple of them have these extra dimensional space items, and just seeing how creative they can get, like seeing if they'll think of this, where they can create the gate to get there and then, you know, figure out how to get back some other time. Or if they can, I don't know, figure out some other way to get to the astral plane. I'm sure they could. But see, like, this is also part of the fun for the DM. Like, I've given you a problem because you made these decisions in the world, and this is how the world reacts to those decisions. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Tell me all about it, you know? Anyway, so that's that one done. Bag of holding complete. Looks great. I should probably proofread these at some point because I'm really not looking when I'm typing, but that's fine. It's fine. If anyone ever watches this, and I'm not convinced that's going to happen, they'll probably leave a comment and let me know, right? Yeah, great. If you are one of the probably few people who will ever look at this particular live stream recording thing, whatever it is I'm doing here, and you see an error, a typo that I have made, please tell me. Because it's going to really, really, really suck if I print these and I give them to my players and they tell me they find a typo. And also, it's going to be embarrassing because theoretically, I have historically been paid to edit things. I guess that's not really theoretical. Historically, that has been a thing. It's not currently a thing. I mean, I am doing some editing, but it's purely on a volunteer basis, so I'm not actually being paid for it. But I think the vibe of this makes sense to you still, right? Yes. Okay, next. Bag of tricks. Tricks are for kids. Uncommon, wondrous item. Did y'all have tricks? I think I tried them a couple times and I just could not understand what all the fuss was about. Like, not to be that person or whatever, but Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Reese's Puffs. Those were the, like, really sugary cereals that I was into. I think there was a French toast one. It was not as good. And the other, like, really sugary ones, like Cap'n Crunch. And oh, it escapes me. I don't know, did anyone have, was it Golden Grams? There was something where it felt like you just had, like, honey glazed cookies, but, like, mini, and you were just supposed to pour milk on them and eat them like cereal, even though it didn't really feel like cereal. Or maybe that was just a weird thing that we did. Who's to say? Oh, and Fruit Loops were good. Fruit Loops were good. You had to get to them before they got too stale, though, because then they got really bad. And the milk turned weird colors depending on which colors you ate first, if you're one of those kids. Yeah. Anyway, let's see here. Bag of tricks. Should I, like, when I read the description as I go, my voice gets weird about it because I'm multitasking. And humans were really not designed to multitask. Not really, at least not with things that require this similar, like, attention resources. You know, if you do a couple of things that are too similar, your brain is, like, competing too much about which one to do with that, like, space in your brain. Or those functions of your brain. So yeah, should I continue to do that and just have the weird inflection and we just agree that it's not okay but it's fine for this, or do I type it out and we have an awkward silence while I do that, and I might curse if I catch a typo that I've made, and then I just read it out normally at the end? I'm asking you like there are people here. There's no one here. It's just me. But I'm thinking of you. Okay, I'm gonna do this one weird too, and then maybe I'll try doing the next one not weird, but this one has a bunch of tables that I need to put in at the end of this card, so it's gonna be a whole thing. It's gonna be forever until I actually read the thing, and then we're just gonna be in a really long silence, so. This ordinary bag, made from gray, rust, or tan cloth, appears empty. Reaching inside the bag, however, reveals the presence of a small, fuzzy object. The bag weighs half a pound. You can use an action to pull the fuzzy object from the bag and throw it up to 20 feet. When the object lands, it transforms into a creature you determine by rolling a d8 and consulting the table that corresponds with 2, corresponds to the bag's color. Oh, I really want to write these things the Canadian way. I had armor the Canadian way, but then everything is titled armor the American way. There's gray with an A instead of an E. Color's too far. I have to have color my way. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. See the monster manual for the creature's statistics. See the monster manual for the creature's statistics. Yes, I said that already. The creature vanishes at the next dawn or when it is reduced to 0 hit points. See now, is that maybe the halfway point here? Is this the compromise? Do I go like sentence by sentence maybe? Oh, if you're friendly, jeez. The creature is friendly to you and your companions, and it acts on your turn. You can use a bonus action to command how the creature moves and what action it takes on its next turn, or give a general order such as to attack your enemies. In the absence of such orders, the creature acts in a fashion. Yes. Appropriate to its nature. Okay. Once 3 fuzzy objects have been pulled from the bag can't be used again until the next dawn. Okay, so that's great, and then I need 3 tables basically. So I need 2, 6, 12, 18, 21 lines. Oh, jeez. Sure, okay. At the bottom, a thin one. Okay. D8 creature, D8 creature. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then let's just copy, paste, yeah. Okay, here, yes, here. So here we'll do that, and let's get a nice border going there and there. Beautiful. It looks great. Okay. Gray. I'll make this one the rust. This one the tan. Okay. Okay, D1, weasel, giant rat, badger, boar, giant elk, that's fun, direwolf, that's dangerous, giant badger, and panther. Giant goat, oh, I have a friend who loves goats, that would be hilarious for them. Giant boar, lion, brown bear, goat, mastiff, owl, rat, Giant weasel. Black bear. And just near does the tan one seem a little OP. Okay, you know, this table is not as bad as I feared. Let's see, can I just fit one of you in there? Yeah, nice. Perfect. All according to plan. Okay, bead of force. Rare. Wondrous item. As you can see, I have broken my spreadsheet into different sheets because that is the appeal of a spreadsheet. So I do have all the wondrous items grouped here, but as you can see, I will have a printing area where I can copy and paste the ones that I want to print for like a specific session or adventure or whatever. And so I think it will be useful to have these even with the color coding, because maybe someone I DM for won't be able to do the color thing, or who knows? Who knows? Okay. Just no attunement. Slot volume, who knows? Okay. Description. This small black sphere measures 3/4 of an inch in diameter and weighs an ounce. Typically, 1d4 plus 4 beads of force are found together. You can use an action to throw the bead up to 60 feet. The bead explodes on impact and is destroyed. Each creature within a 10-foot radius of where the bead landed must succeed on a DC 15 dexterity saving throw or take 5d4 force damage. I don't know. Should I make this more exciting? Should I, like, roll some dice as we go? I have some dice. I could get more dice out. It's really just an excuse to vicariously maybe roll some dice. Yeah, you know, I'm going to say that's a valid use of my time. Not the smartest use of my time, if we're being completely honest, but I'm gonna do it. Let's do it anyway. Okay, this is D4. Oh, jeez. Of course it is. D4s, where are you? Oh, there's a few of you in there, but you're not the good ones. It's fine. It's fine. The people can see how well, I guess they can't see, but they can hear about how poorly my dice roll. At least how poorly my, like, bad dice roll. You know? You know you have the, like, dice that are pretty solid. And, like, they're the ones you turn to in an emergency or at death's door, right? Okay. It's fine. Yeah, let's just get all the dice out. It's cool. Ice cream dice. They're fun and layered. Okay. Oh my gosh. I should not be doing it. Okay. 5d4. Ooh, that's pretty good actually. Okay, we got 2 4s, 2 3s, and a 1. So we have 15. Oh damn, that's really good. 15 out of 20? Never mind, these are apparently my greatest dice ever. Wow, okay. Okay. Have to remember those ones. Okay, I'm sorry. Where was I? Take 5d4 force damage. Great. A sphere of transparent force then encloses the area for 1 minute. Any creature that failed the save and is completely within the area is trapped inside this sphere. Creatures that succeeded on the save, or are partially within the area, are pushed away from the center of the sphere until they are no longer inside it. Only breathable air can pass through the sphere's wall. No attack or other effect can. Oh, I totally just kept typing instead of reading. Okay. An enclosed creature can use its action to push against the sphere's wall, moving the sphere up to half the creature's walking speed. The sphere can be picked up, and its magic causes it to weigh only 1 pound, regardless of the weight of creatures inside. Ta-da! Beat of force. I love it. It's just like a little pebble of a grenade. But also, the grenade traps you. Okay, let's see. It's like we're getting... Okay, let's maybe go to like an hour on this and see how we feel. YouTube assures me that the connection is excellent. So that's not why no one's here. It's probably because, A, I'm kind of outside my established lane. My live streams are basically just a different person, really. Because I do my Wordle stuff, and that's, like, edited, and there's, like, I don't want to say there's a lot of effort into it, but there's more effort than this, right? This, I made a little thumbnail, and I'm just live streaming my Google Sheet like the nerd I am. I have a video intro, but I couldn't be bothered to make it happen for this, so we just cold opened. But I feel like that's fine because there's no one here anyway, you know? This is more just because I felt like it than anyone really wanted it. Okay. Belt of Dwarven Kind. I love that you can grow a beard with this. Truly, I do. Okay, I know I've just been typing, but while wearing this belt, you gain the following benefits. Your constitution score increases by 2 to a maximum of 20. You have advantage on charisma persuasion checks made to interact with dwarves. This is such a lit item. And also you get to maybe grow a beard? Ugh! Good times. Good times. Okay. But let me continue. Excuse me. In addition, while attuned to the belt, you have a 50% chance each day at dawn of growing a full beard if you're capable of growing one, or a visibly thicker beard if you already have one. If you aren't a dwarf, you gain the following additional benefits while wearing the belt. Now, let me tell you, if it was possible to guarantee that a character I played would be able to find or request or put a bounty on a belt of dwarven kind, I absolutely would every time. Because the benefits that you get if you're not a dwarf are the dwarf benefits, right? You have advantage on saving throws against poison, and you have resistance against poison damage. Beautiful. You have dark vision out to a range of 60 feet. Dark vision can, be super useful. I don't know if you've encountered it yet, but if you can see in the dark, it means you don't have to be one of those, lightning bugs, right? Because, if you go out on a dark night and anyone turns a light on, you know where they are. But also you can speak, read, and write Dwarvish, which is lit and helpful on those persuasion checks you're using to interact with dwarves. So it all makes sense. We love internal consistency. Okay. What do you think? One more? Sure, there's a table, but it'll be fine. Okay. Belt of Giant. Strength. Rarity. Varies. Rare to legendary. Sure. Slot. And belt. I don't actually know if that's what the slot is called. I should refresh my memory, but I'm probably not gonna. I put that in the wrong spot, so put that there. Okay, so there's a rare, very rare, or legendary, depending on which belt. Wondrous item. Okay, while wearing this belt, your strength score changes to a score granted by the belt. The item has no effect on you if your strength without the belt is equal to or greater than the belt's score. 6 varieties of this belt exist, corresponding with and having rarity according to the 6 kinds of true giants. True giants? That seems a little rude. I don't know. This is like maybe some of y'all weren't old enough yet, but this reminds me of when they're like, "Hey Pluto, you're not a goddamn planet." It just feels rude. You're not a real planet, Pluto. But for so long we said it was. That's not Pluto's fault. That's our fault. Pluto shouldn't have to suffer for our mistakes. The Belt of Stone Giant Strength and the Belt of Frost Giant Strength look different, but they have the same effect. Okay. Now I need a table. Okay. I don't know what happened there, but we're just gonna ignore it. Just looking at the table, let's maybe combine these two just in case. I don't think we'll need to. Is there a shortcut for merge cells? I would love for there to be a shortcut for merge cells. Could I look one up? Sure. Yes, I could. One could even argue that would be really smart of me, but I'm not gonna do it. That's right. Think smarter, not harder. Whoosh. Okay. And we're going to do a dab of color. Oh, no one's this molded. Okay. I can do that. See, and it's this one that was like, maybe I should make the type bigger because I think it would just go outside the strength or the rarity one, right? So anyway, it's sorted maybe. Jeez, can you imagine having 29 as your strength score? Bloody wild. Okay, I kind of want to do the next item. I do. I really do. Okay, last one, okay? Yeah, see, you can see I've kind of started doing things. But I've left the ammunition in brackets here so I can replace with like arrows or bolts or whatever depending on what players have what. Okay, moving on though. Ugh. And a typo kills the mood. Okay, Berserker Axe. Rare weapon. And I guess, is it a weapon slot? I don't know how this works. I should have looked this up. Well, I mean, you can't. Well, It's almost saying that, like, you can only have one thing in each slot, right? Like, on your arms, you can only have, like, bracers or van bracers. You can't have both. But if we're thinking about, like, amulets, like, people go out all the time with multiple necklaces on. You know? Okay, whatever. I'm going to call it a weapon slot for now. I believe it does require attunement. Yes. Okay. You gain, oh my gosh, you gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magic weapon. In addition, while you are attuned to this weapon, your hit point maximum increases by 1 for each level you have attained. And now we get to why I really wanted to do this before I left. Curse. I love that. It says curse, and it says it in the italic bold, so that you know it's an important thing. And then just the next portion of the sentence is, this axe is cursed. Thank you. I never would have guessed. Okay. This axe is cursed, and becoming attuned to it extends the curse to you. As long as you remain cursed, you are unwilling to part with the axe, keeping it within reach at all times. You also have disadvantage on attack rolls with weapons other than this one, unless no foe is within 60 feet of you that you can see or hear. Whenever a hostile creature damages you while the axe is in your possession, you must succeed on a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or go berserk. While berserk, you must use your action each round to attack the creature nearest to you with the axe. If you can make extra attacks as part of the attack action, you use those extra attacks, moving to attack the next nearest creature after you fell your current target. If you have multiple possible targets, you attack one at random. You are berserk until you start your turn with no creatures within 60 feet of you that you can see or hear. So this curse is fun. Because if you don't read it too closely, you're like, oh yeah, I just turned into like a killing machine. Throw me into like the middle of the group of goblins and like, let's go. But 60 feet, your party's definitely going to be within 60 feet of you. So as soon as those goblins are all gone, like, you're just hacking away at your friends. And if you're like a barbarian when you're doing this, you can probably catch your friends within 60 feet. Like, even if they don't use their action to dash. I mean, I guess a monk too could, but monks don't usually use axes. But yeah, it's quite possible that you could just keep fighting them and keep going after them. So, real dangerous. But if you don't know, and you just pick it up, and you're like, yeah, I'll attune to it, then whoop. Trapped. Alright. Well, that was great. That was really good. I feel like I made so much and so little progress. Am I really gonna try and make item cards for every bloody magical item? I mean, I guess I am. Would the smart person just do it as they need to, as the items come up in their campaigns? Yes, you're right, absolutely. But have you considered that I am dumb? And I will also definitely accidentally put them in here more than once. Okay, well. And that yawn of a note. It's been lit. If anyone ever watches this. You've made some choices, huh? Okay. Thanks. Bye. See ya. Happy gaming? I don't know, is that dumb? It seems cheesy. People have sign-offs and I don't understand. Because, like, there's so many YouTubers. There's no way everyone has their own unique sign-off. People definitely do, right? Oh, jeez. Maybe just rambling will be my sign-off.